Good morning. So I am headed today to go get my facial. I'm going to go ahead and take y'all through the process with me. So come along and watch the process to get this amazing facial and how I get my skin glowing. So I am arriving at my facial appointment.
They are in the Bay Area. Warriors got the home game tonight.
So for anyone in Houston, Texas that decides to come to her after this YouTube video, this will be the familiar space you will need to know. So right here, she's just cleansing my face as I just walked in. So we have to get the face clean before we can go to the next step.
I'm gonna go ahead and put you under the LED for 20 minutes.
Now I will be placed under the LED light for 20 minutes. The LED light just helps with bacteria underneath the skin and also any inflammation I may have. Now she will be prepping my skin for extraction. Extraction is anything underneath the skin that can have your pores clogged. This is simply just to make the process easier and less painful when it comes to extracting the skin.
Let me know if this is too hot for you.
Okay. No such thing as too hot.
Take a look at your skin and see if you have anything going on in there.
So this is who does my facials.
Hey, how are you doing? Okay.
Now she is simply just checking the surface of my skin to make sure there isn't any bacteria laying underneath the skin or any pores that may be clogged.
Put a little solution on, do some extractions.
And then what does the extractions do?
Oh, it's a little impactions. When the impactions are down there, they get clogged down there, caught up in there with its dead skin and oil. And then when they're down there, what happens is they start building and getting bigger and bigger, and then they trap bacteria down there. And that's how your pimples start. So if we don't get those impactions out, then you have propensity to get another pimple down in there. These aren't little pimples, this looks like just a little folliculitis here. Just where the pore is just a little bit irritated. Overall, your skin looks good. You've really come a long
way. Oh my god, I was looking at the before.
The before and afters. You don't realize what it looked like.
Showing me my pictures.
Okay, Carol, go ahead and come over here.
Oh my god, look at my face, y'all. This is
Still not sure about this right here. How long has that been there?
I have no idea.
It's a pore. I see the opening of the pore. Nothing's coming in. Maybe a little sebaceous hyperplasia. It's where a pore turns inside out and it sort of looks like a donut. I'm not really seeing anything in there. You can always do a little skin tag treatment on that to get that off, but that's not a pimple. And you're using your Mandelic twice a day, 3 pumps each time?
Yep.
Okay. When you do, make sure you put it on right here first.
Okay.
Always real concentrated right here, and then from there, spread it throughout.
Yes, get all that gunk out my nose. Do you guys see the white stuff coming out of the pores?
These have to be done just the right way. You don't want to put too much trauma on the skin. So you have to have just the right amount of pressure and angle. That's what happens. Most people put the wrong pressure and the wrong angle on it, and they stab their fingernails in them, and then they scar themselves.
Now we're about to do the peel.
We have to remember, with the darker the pigment, the slower it penetrates. So you have to go slow as far as putting layers on there.
And then good thing about her, she starts you off with levels. I've noticed most estheticians I go to or skin people, they just give you one harsh for your skin chemical peel. They don't do levels to it.
Yeah,
like
you
do.
have to with certain skin tones. That is one of the biggest issues, is if you go too fast and you don't give that peel time to penetrate so that we know what it's going to do for you. After you've done several of them, it's so intense and so strong it could actually be have problems with the skin as far as pigmentation and stuff. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you feel with that?
Nothing.
Okay. Let's get that just a few more moments. Okay, notice I'm actually pushing it into the skin. I want a little bit of roughness on the skin. Scale of 10, 1 to 10. Anything?
I'll give it a 1.
Okay. All over or just one place?
All over.
Okay. Okay. Let me know if that gets higher or lower, the sensation of it. This is a pretty high peel. You worked yourself up to being really strong.
So I'm so used to the 3 layers now and the just not tingling.
Do you still feel the 1? What is that now?
It's nothing.
Okay. So that tells me you're ready for the next one. So what this is a retinol and azelaic. And azelaic helps with pigmentation. Retinols help with being catalytic, meaning it breaks dead skin cells down, stimulate more cells, and it helps with pigmentation as well.
And how often do you think someone should get a chemical peel?
You know, ideally once every 1 month to 2 months, depending on what their skin can handle. But more than anything, just as important as that is your home care, because you're not going to get benefits by just doing a peel. You're not going to get benefits by just doing home care. It really needs to be both of them working hand in hand. And good skincare, not over the counter or something from Neiman Marcus. That does not make it good. The price of it does not make it good. What is in it is what makes it good.
You guys hear that? Ingredients are very important for skincare.
Okay, what do you feel with that?
I give it about 3.
3. Perfect. That's where I want to get you. So that tells me how deep it's gone, and we don't want to go into good, healthy tissue. We don't want to remove that. We just want to go in there and stimulate dead tissue to start breaking up so that it stimulates new cells from the bottom to push those new cells, those fresh, pretty cells, up to the surface. So again, you don't want aggressive, especially with darker skin. You do not want aggressive skin treatment. Somebody that has a lighter pigmentation, you don't want aggressive there either, because it stimulates inflammation. Inflammation ages, so you're just being counterproductive. And then number 2, the darker the skin, the more aggressive you are, the more it stimulates melanin production, and that is where people will pigment or have issues later on in time. Okay, and then as you know how I feel about sunscreen. Does not matter where you are, what color your skin is, you still need sunscreen. It's radiation.
And she pats it in so it doesn't be white. It doesn't turn white. And of course, no exercising, no type of sweating.
Nope, not for the rest of the day. Okay, and once you pat it in there, then you can start lightly rubbing it in. But you have to have sunscreen. And you really need to put it on every 2 hours, because the same thing that breaks your skin down is breaking the sunscreen down. So it doesn't mean that you can put it on first thing in the morning and it'll still be there in the afternoon. It's for protection.
Is there a minimum amount of SPF that you require people to have to protect their skin?
You really do need to put probably, and I put 2 different ones on you. I put 2 different amounts on you. I'm talking about like that. So I put the first time half of it, and then the second time the other half.
Okay.
So that it blends even better, and you're not putting so much on there. But yeah, you do. You need to put a fair amount on there. You did put your sunscreen on like you were putting it on your baby.
Okay.
Okay. Thank y'all.
And that is it.
All right, my dear.
Finally,
Thanks.
get her some light.
Okay. Does that feel all right? You're not feeling any tingle or anything?
No,
like that?
it feels great.
Okay, so remember, no heat today, no exercising, no sweating, and then leave this on for a minimum of 6 to 8 hours. And then tonight, when you do bathe, just tepid water on your skin. I don't want it too hot, too cold, just tepid, and then make sure that you moisturize. Usually about day 3 to 4, you'll feel a little bit of tightness on the skin, and that's just the dead skin starting to break up, and maybe a little, not flaky, but just dry feeling. That's the dead skin coming up.
Okay.
Okay. All right, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, this is me leaving my facial. I'm in there for about an hour. As you heard her, I have no nighttime regimen tonight. I go back to it tomorrow morning, and I'll keep y'all updated with part 2. welcome back to my channel. Let's get to the morning regimen and get the day started. We will be using face wash cleanser, and I'll be pouring a small diamond amount onto the palm of my hand. And of course, let's begin the lathering process. As you can see, this morning I started to peel just a little bit, but we'll still wash the same face right there. Where you're gonna begin cleansing your face. And I'm the type of person, if it isn't sudden and it's not lathered, I don't feel like it's cleaning my face. So I like to make sure my face is all the way sudden, use all the products, and do this 30 seconds to a minute. Now that I have rinsed my face, I'm going to take a white washcloth, and I like to use the back where the tag is to get the boogers in my nose. We all know when you get in the pool, shower, it causes boogers. I don't want to be in camera with boogers. Let me check, because I know y'all ain't gonna tell me. And then I take the other side and I go ahead and pat dry my face. When I'm done patting dry my face, I make sure to also fan my face just to make sure that my face is completely dry before I put on any product. After my face is completely dry, I'll go ahead and move on to the next step. If I look a little oily, it's because I like to put baby oil in the shower while I'm wet, so that way I don't have to put on lotion. It just gives the skin a nice moisture, and I love it. So if you don't know that trick, make sure you guys use it. Next time, before you get out the shower, put baby oil on while you're wet. Now I'm going to take just a gauge. I said a gauge, I meant a gauze. And I'm going to go ahead and apply toner. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this toner onto this gauze, and then apply this all over my face. Once this is applied all over my face, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing, fan it. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to the next step, which is the vitamin C and E oil. And this is just to brighten and even the skin. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put 5 drops on each cheek. I'm going to rub that in. And then I'm going to do the same for the other side. And then I'm going to rub that in. And I only concentrated on my cheek areas only because that's where I get my breakouts, and that's where I have my dark marks. So I don't want to waste product on any part of my face that does not have dark spots, as this product alone runs about $72. So we're just going to keep going ahead and moisturizing that in until you cannot feel any more product to rub in. After that product is completely rubbed in, we'll go ahead and we'll go to the next step, which is serum. And I'm just going to use some serum. And then go ahead and apply 3 pumps onto my fingertips and apply it onto my skin. And once again, I'm going to concentrate that onto my cheeks, because that's where I get my breakouts. And then once I concentrate on the cheeks, I can move off the rest of the face. Same thing, just to make sure the product is dry and all the way into my skin. This is not something you have to do. This is just something I do because in my head, I feel like I don't want to mess up the product by not letting it all the way get into the skin. Then we'll go ahead and do our last step of our morning regimen, moisturizer. So instead of this being a cream form, this is a gel form. And I normally do 3 pumps onto the palm of my hand. And then I go ahead and put it all over my face. When I'm wearing makeup, I do none of these steps for cleansing my face, toning, and going straight to moisturizer. But I use the cream moisturizer. The gel has kind of like a sticky feeling to it. It's great if you're not wearing makeup, but underneath my makeup it doesn't feel right. So I don't wear the gel moisturizer underneath makeup. Like I said, I would just do the cleanser, the toner, and then go right into a cream, which is a moisturizer. Oh, it's hard to focus. So I would go straight into a cream instead of the gel if I'm applying makeup. So I'm gonna show y'all the difference between the cream. Of course, it's a cream. So here's the difference between the cream and the gel. This is the gel and this is the cream. So the cream moisturizer to me feels better, and it's just like, I don't know, the feeling is just better, and the gel is more sticky, but I don't mind it during the day or when I'm not wearing makeup. So that right there is my morning regimen, and as you can see, I look very glowy, I look very refreshed. And that is something I do every single day. So I hope that y'all enjoyed that regimen. It does not change unless she has me on a new product, but I've been on the same product for months now. There is steps to take with different products. It's not just the product that works as well. It's also me going in as well to her office to get the treatments that I get. But this is the morning regimen, and I hope y'all enjoy it. So this is day 4 of my chemical peel process after having my facial and my chemical peel done. And as you can see, the mark that she was concerned about is gone, and my face is peeling. And you can see the lighter side versus the darker side. On my nose, above my lip. So you could definitely see the transformation so far. And this will go on for about 6 days, no longer than a week. So during this process, I do not wear any makeup. Time for the night regimen. I'm gonna get straight to it. Let's begin with cleansing our face. So I'm going to use some cleanser. Put a small amount on my hands. And start washing my face. Chin, make sure I'm getting my forehead and everything else. After you lavage your face for about 30 seconds to a minute, you can rinse. When I'm done washing my face, I take a white rag and I pat my face dry. I like to do white because you don't have to worry about any dye or color from it being a color cloth. Something about white, I just prefer it. You don't necessarily have to use white, it's just what I do. So, pat face dry. After my face is patted dry, I still like to go like this. And I just like to give it a little fan with my hands, or you can use a fan just to make sure my face is completely dry. So, I'm going to use some toner and I'm gonna put it on my guys. You don't need much. You want toner to stretch a long way. So, this is about it. And I'm gonna tone my face. And I want to make sure I get all over my face. Once your guide is clean and you realize there's no dirt on your face, you did a good job cleaning it. And now let's get to the next step. I'm going to fan my face just to make sure the toner dries into the skin before I apply the next product. I know it's completely dry because I can't feel any cold air. You know how when you know your scalp is wet and you can feel that little breeze and you can tell it's damp? Same thing with your face. So now that my face is completely dry, I can go ahead and do the next step. I'm gonna take 3 pumps of serum and put it into the fingertips of my hand. And I'm gonna go ahead and start the serum on my cheeks because that's where I used to have my most breakout. So I'm gonna start on my cheeks. And once I've concentrated and started with my cheeks, then I can go ahead and spread it all over the face. You're gonna keep rubbing it in until you can't rub it in no more. And this is when I start to rub it all over my face. I never do my forehead because my forehead just always has been clear. I've never had problems with it. I don't want to mess with something that, you know, has been fine. So I'm not gonna do my forehead. Rub it all in until you can't feel anything else to rub in. Vitamin A corrective serum. So I'm going to take 2 squirts of this and put it in my fingertips. 1, 2, and I'm gonna also start that on my concentrated areas because these are where my dark spots was, and what vitamin A does, it'll go ahead and start fading those for me. And that's what we wanna do. We have got rid of the active pimples and bumps, and now we wanna start fading them blemishes and the scars, maybe from you picking it or just from having pimples. And I only concentrate that on my cheeks because I don't need it anywhere else. I don't have blackheads or black spots anywhere else. So I just put it on my cheeks. And you're gonna rub this in until you can't rub it in anymore. Now it's time for Hydro Balancing Gel. This is basically just a moisturizer, but in a gel form. I'm gonna use 3 pumps. Go ahead and put it in my hands and then moisturize my face. Now this may seem like it's a lot and it's a long process, but these were the directions given to me by my esthetician. So once again, I'm not an esthetician. This is not my lane. She has cleared my face up, so I'm going to continue to do exactly like she tells me to do. I still have one more step to go, but before I can apply it, I have to wait 15 minutes. So I'll be back and show you guys in 15 minutes the last step of the routine. Last step to it all is Acne Med. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to apply a pinky sized amount. And that's going to go from the tip of my finger to the top of my finger. The bottom of my pinky to the top of my pinky. So just like this. Go ahead, rub that into the fingertips of our hands and just gently put that onto the cheeks. This will be the last step of the routine. You have to wait 15 minutes after in order to do this. Rub it all the way in. And you want to rub till you can't get no more.